Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are joining us. Thank you for joining the session. And I hope that you and your families are safe and well during this time. So, I think this would be the last event for this year from India point of view, Microsoft 365 Saturday Bangalore 2021. And I would like to thank all the sponsors and the organizers for having such a wonderful event, though in a pandemic time. And today, if you are willing to win some exciting prizes, then you need to be on this event till end of the day, and you might have some exciting prizes along with you. So today I'm going to talk about a few things about Power Apps portals that this is buzzing word now, and a lot of people are asking for how to use it, where to use it, and what are the different features available along with the templates and how that can be useful for the external customers. So I will be talking about few things on that, and yeah. So myself, Kirti, and I am Modern Workplace Consultant, MVP, MCT. So this is very short introduction from my end, and directly jump into the agenda. So today I'm going to talk about a few things about this introduction to Power Apps portals, then how the architecture has been designed. So I am keeping this simple architecture just to introduce how it will connect with the Dataverse as well or the CDS. And then I will explore how the Power Apps portal looks like using this Portal Studio. And then I will explain that how to add the users, how to invite the external users, and using that the external users can access the portal from their own without having a Office 365 user. Yeah, so as you know that before we jump into the Power Apps portal, so it is better to understand that what is Power Platform. So Power Platform is a kind of a platform that is targeted to mostly citizen developers, people who have understanding of the business but may not be heavily skilled or heavily trained into IT programming or computer programming. So the basic idea is that Microsoft provides features and tools for developers or citizen developers. So using that, they can create applications without having a vast knowledge of computer programming. So you have different technologies within that stack, and you have the Power Apps, Canvas apps, which allows us to create applications for mobile devices as well as the tablets. So the main goal is that no need to have a kind of expertise in any kind of programming language, but yeah, you should be aware with the algorithm or the business process you are looking out for. And the second point is the Power Automate, so which is a kind of technology that allows for a citizen developers against somebody who does not have very deep knowledge into programming language or skills, how to integrate the system using point and click or drag and drop the capabilities. So you can use the Power Automate just to simplify your algorithm and have that automatic process execution. And the third one is the Power BI, which is again a citizen developer tool that can allow folks to create dashboards, technology to expose such information which can be used as a decision making information in a way that's easy for other users to consume, so they can understand, okay, where we are and where we need to go using this data. And the fourth one is coming as a Power Apps portal. So this is the ability to build low code responsive websites which can allow external users to interact with the data which are stored in common data service, or now it's Dataverse. So external user can interact with the actual data without having this O365 credentials, and they can just use their anonymous access and have the access on this external portal. So the next question would be like, why Power Apps portal is required? Why it comes into the picture? So the Power Apps portals most common scenario is, so there might be a couple of scenarios we can discuss on that. For application or web application that is used by clients of your company, so your mobile device app could potentially be used by clients, but the way that Microsoft designed the Canvas apps, it requires you to user to log in using a paid license or Power Platform, whereas in Power this portal, you can expose information to your clientele, to your end users, clients using a web-based approach. So you have common scenarios here where Power Apps portals can be used. So most of the time, what we are doing, like we are just creating the Canvas app for the customers, and their internal or the organization users can access this the Canvas apps using tablet or the mobile device. But what comes if you have a such kind of large number of external customers and who are willing to access the data from your dataverse? So that's the first scenario we can consider, that you can just create the this portal and allow them access to on specific table. So we can also manage the security rules for that to, like who to access what from your dataverse. So that's the first scenario we can consider. And Power Apps portal also allow organization to create websites which can be shared with users external to their organization, either anonymously or through the login provider of their choice. Like for example, if you want to use LinkedIn, Microsoft account, or commercial login providers, you can also use that along with the default option as anonymous access for the external users. And Power Apps portals also provide a great way to allow internal and external audiences to view and interact with the data from Microsoft Dataverse or Dynamics 365. So it is not limited that you can just communicate with Dataverse, but you have an option to connect with Dynamics 365. So I'll explain that in the template thing. Like if you have created or provisioned the portal with the templates, then there are other 4 or 5 templates available which can directly communicate with your Dynamics 365. So this way, it should be a consideration as a pillar in an organization overall web strategy. So if you want to allow external users to access your dataverse, the data resides in the dataverse or data available in the Dynamics 365. So those are the different options I can consider, that why we should go with the Power Apps portal. And now, when to use the Power Apps portal. So most of the users or developers are confused about, like we have such kind of requirement, we don't know when to use it. So there are two main uses of Power Apps portal. The first one is you want to build a public facing website. So like in SharePoint on premises, we were using the forms based authentication. So by using that, external user can access those site, or we can just allow this publishing site with the anonymous access. So same thing can be done for this Power Apps portals. So you can build a public facing website that can be accessed by anonymous or authenticated user. It is not that you cannot allow the authenticated users to be to access this portal, but that's the optional part. It depends on like how you are planning your this portal access. And the second option is if you want to create an integrated experience with other Microsoft technologies. For example, if you want to embed some Power BI dashboard or kind of a report into your website, or if you want to trigger such workflows when a user submit a form on your website or something happens on your website, then you can also leverage Azure Blob Storage and SharePoint to store the documents. If you want to allow user to upload something, that can be leveraged too. And use application insights to track your solution usage. So this, I can consider these two based option, that when you can use Power Apps portals in terms of allowing to access the external user, and they can communicate with actual data which resides either in the Dataverse or D365, and they can have or perform such actions based on something has been happened, like for example, a user is submitting form and they want to trigger something that can be done using that. So this is the simple thing that what we can cover in the Power Platform, and why we need Power Apps portals and such scenarios where we can consider that when to use the Power Apps portals. Now I'm just explaining a simple architecture in a single image. So uh, as you know that the Power Apps portal is not completely new. If someone is available in this the session, that it has been around for some years, but it was previously marked as Dynamics 365 portal and offered only as an add-on to Dynamics 365 model-driven application. So it was there, but it was a part as marketed as Dynamics 365 portals, and it would be available as an add-on to Microsoft Dynamics 365 model-driven application, not coming as a separate portal from where user can create the publishing sites. So these portals use the Bootstrap 3.3 framework, which can be used to control the appearance of the solution, as well as the template language called Liquid. So in Power Apps portal is built on top of CDS, the Dataverse, and this database will host all your portals data, like whatever the component we are using, like pages, page template, forms, or forms data, etc. That everything will be resides in the Dataverse. So that is why I mentioned that your portal can directly communicate with your Dataverse as a default. And as a prerequisite, you can see the user should have a Power Apps environment with the database or Dataverse, so they can just create the portal, and all the data or the component will resides into specific table. Uh, However, you just keep in mind that you can only create one portal per Power Apps environment. So if you have one environment in your tenant, then you can create one portal, Power Apps portal per environment. So if you want to create another portal, then you have to switch to another environment or create new environment, and from there you can just provision new portal in that environment. So that's the limitation for now, but generally we are not trying to create X number of portals for external users. We just create one portal which can connect with the data, different entities of the Dataverse, and our external users can access those data. Now, after this architecture, we have some things about the portals explore components, like how this Dynamics 365 starter portals are pre-configured portal solutions that can be available to help accelerate your deployment. So we have certain templates available. Using those templates, we can just have the site uh, like plug and play kind of, and all the default data will be also there. So we can use those different templates, and typically portal projects will have unique requirements. So it depends on how your requirement comes in and what type of interface you are planning to have for your portal. But if I'll try to start learning on that, just use the starter portal that can provide an environment that is immediately suitable for specific scenarios and audiences. So you can use that template, the starter template. I'll explain you that how to use that. And then uh, as I mentioned that there are 4 or 5 templates available. So when you are provisioning a Power Apps portal, the most important choices to consider are your audiences, how you are managing the workload, and how you are choosing a specific portal template that could be a best suitable candidate, or it should allow based align with the particular business requirement. And a number of portal templates are available that can be provisioned. So these templates will accelerate the configuration of a portal which can be based on the intended audiences as well as the workload, how we are trying to manage it. And if you are building a custom business application, if you do not want to use the out of the box templates and trying to build a custom business application by using your Microsoft Dataverse without the Dynamic 365 apps enabled, then in that case you can just go with the portal from blank option when trying to create portal from your environment. So if you are trying to use this Microsoft Dynamics 365 apps, such as, for example, D365 Sales or D365 Service, then you have choice of 5 additional templates. So you can see here I have list out all the community portal, then customer self-service, employee self-service, then partner portal, then custom portal, which can be used for the Dynamics 365 supply chain management. So there are certain, as I mentioned, that you need to identify which template will be the best suitable or best aligned as per your requirement based on your audience as well as the workload. So if you are using community portal, then your audience could be your partner or the customer, and the workload might be choose this option to provision a portal that is focused on an online community. And this portal will contain features such as, for example, if you want to highlight something as a forums, ideas, blogs, and case management, then you can use this community portal template or community portal template to access, can be accessed by your partners or the customers. And the second one is the customer self-service. Again, the audience will remain same, but the purpose of this would be like if you want to allow your external users the ability to search knowledge articles or submit some cases and participate in discussion forums to resolve some issues, like for example ticketing system or issue tracking system, then in that case you can use this template. And the third one is the employee self-service. So this is again allows employees to access a centralized knowledge article and also submit cases, but those will be your employee, not for the customers, and the audience will be only employee. It cannot be shared with the partners or the customers. And the fourth one is the partner portal template, which can be choose or this can be used to build a portal where external partners can manage and also collaborate on accounts and opportunities. So if you are trying to allow them access for the D365 field services or some project services or some entities which can be available in your D365, then from there they can manage and collaborate on accounts and opportunities, for example. So so that can be done using this partner portal template. And the fifth one will be the custom portal where anyone can access, because you are trying to use or create this portal from a blank option, and this is meant for unique line of business scenarios where the other templates are not a good fit. So it may happen that you want to share something which is not coming or which is not available in these 4 out of the box templates. In that case, this can be configured to address a variety of requirements. If portal from blank is provisioned within a Dataverse environment with D365 apps enabled, then specific features from the other portals can be incorporated into. So it means that if you have provision your portal from provision within a Dataverse environment, then you can access such entities to pull out the data. And then uh, we have some portal features apart from these templates. So all portals templates are built on a common foundation, that is you can say portal base, and that includes the following like there are 4 or 5 features available. If you consider that, the first one will be the you it's an ability to configure the portal by using the Portal Studio. So I'll explain you that when we jump into the actual environment. So we have an option that you can just configure the portal by using the Portal Studio, and content management, which includes content publishing, design, theming, search, multilingual support, and templating. So all the options are there, but you need to design the user interface based on your requirement, where to put what type of component. And in terms of extensibility, that is built on web pages, templates, table forms, table list, and more. So if you want to extend something, so you can use this different components. And the fourth one is the security. So that is based on identity management or integration with authentication providers like or web roles or content permission and table permissions. So you can manage those security from there too. And the last one is the common features we can use, like ads, if you want to display ads, polls, ratings, and comments. So these features are not standalone and can be used throughout other parts of the implementation. For example, if you want to use rating and comments, that can be enabled for a page, or if you want to use ad, that can be included as a part of template, or some features will require D365 apps to be enabled. For example, if you want to use knowledge based article, that might require a Microsoft Dynamics 365 app. So in that case, we can use this option. And now if I jump into my environment, so I'll explain you that how it will look like. So first you need to log in into your Power Apps portal. Let's say, for example, if I am logging into Microsoft D365, Microsoft 365 Admin Center, then from your all admin centers, you can just click on the Power Apps, and your Power Apps admin center will be there. Let me open that. Yeah, it will look like this. So as I was mentioning that each and every environment have only one portal. You cannot create another portal for that. So once you are in your environment, you can just check, open that environment. So in this case, I have only one environment available with this tenant. So I am jumping into this environment and Power Apps. Yeah. So I am in this environment. I have only one environment, and I have already created one app called SP Console 365 portal. So if I'm trying to create the portal from here, you can see the manage your own apps available. And here we have three options: Canvas app from blank, model driven app, and portal from blank. So I'm just creating this one, and it will not allow me to create because I already have one portal created for this environment. So just trying to use this paste, and it will verify the name is available or not. I'm just using test one. Okay, and I'm just using this, use the data from existing website. So I'm just using this starter portal and create. Yeah, so it is provisioning for this one. And once it is provisioned, so if you see, if you have used the starter template out of the box, then your site will look like this. So this will be your domain name, in our case test 2021, but I have created for this demo already with this domain. So I'm just explaining this, and this will be the URL for external users. It can be accessed from anywhere. So let's say, for example, I'm just trying to sign out because I have added this user and invite these users to access this portal. So once your portal is created, it will be provisioned and it will be listed here. So if I click here, it will look like this. Right? We have the sign in option and default components available. Now, if I want to open this in a studio, then just click on edit. And this will be open in your Power Apps Portal Studio, from where you can just change the look and feel. Like I can just change the text. And as soon as you publish this, it will be available. For example, I'm just using this and saving it and just clicking on browse website. So these changes will be available as soon as I publish, and the external users with whom I have shared this, they can also access the site. Now the question is how you can allow the user to access this portal, right? So for that, in the we have the portal management. If you go to the home page on your Power Apps environment, I'm just going back here. If I click on home, and here we have the portal management. So from portal management, you can access all the entities, and that is model driven app. So if you are clicking on the portal management, from there you have contacts. And for now, I have just added one user, but I can use another user, like adding new user. Click on new. I'm just using this information and details. Okay. I'm just clicking on save and close. And then I need to invite this user. So I'm just selecting this and create invitation. Then I'm just using this expiry date, save and close. And then from this one, I just need to initiate or trigger one workflow, which can be creating this invitation code for this user. So I'm just selecting this, and under the flow, you have to select whatever the user you are trying to invite. Like you can select all in a one go, or you can select individual users. So in this case, I'm just selecting one, and from here I'm just opening this and invitation contacts. Maybe I have already used this, so I'm just explaining for this one. So once you somehow it's not available, so here we have this option called sending invitation. So once you use that for this specific user, it will create a kind of invitation code, like these are the workflow run for this user. So I have invited this user and it will create a kind of unique invitation code for this user. So once you have this invitation code, then the external user can access this URL. Let's say, for example, I'm using this in private mode. Right now, I'm just clicking on sign in. And it will ask me here three options. Either you have sign in, register, or redeem invitation. If I have the invitation code, I can just use that invitation code and log in into the system, right? But I already have the account created. So as I was mentioning, you can also use the external sign in here, in that case Azure AD. But for this case, we can just use let me see if it's allowing me to access. Okay, so I have already logged in here with this user, or I can just redeem this invitation code again. And I have an existing account, register. Yeah, so I was using the wrong password. So yeah, let me open that in this window. And if I log in, it will open my profile page. So you can see this information, this title and this one, it is retrieving from the context entity where I have added this user. So I'm just opening that now. This one. And if I go on the contacts, this user, opening this information, and here you can see I have added the job title MVP. So that is reflected there. Email address is reflected there. So let me see what other information I can access. Website. So let me see if I can add website. Phone number. And just save it. And I'm just trying to refresh this if I can access that. Phone number, business phone number is there. Yeah, so it is reflecting here. So whatever the changes I have in my profile for that one, I can see the changes reflected here. And in terms of this design layout, so if you want to change this, then you can use this Power App Studio, from where you can update the pages. This one, and from here you can just edit this and it will be open in a Power App Portal Studio. Yeah, from here you can use whatever the layout you are looking out for, and you, as I mentioned, that you can also change this theme, then use different page templates. You, if you want full page, profile page, search page template, then this is for the setting. If you want to have such kind of security for your users to access a specific table, then you can use this security, and from here you can access more settings in terms of websites, page template. Then you have these two test applications available for now. So from here you can manage the different set of security permissions and other settings as well. And from here you can just add different kind of components if you want a kind of 1 column, 2 column section, 3 column, same as we have in this SharePoint Online page. So you can use this kind of sections layout. Then you can use portal components, like what type of control you want to use: text, image, frame, forms, list, breadcrumbs. If you want to display some Power BI dashboard reports, you can use this control and just link with your data source. If you want to use list, and you can just use the list and connect with your SharePoint data. If you want to use forms, you can use form that can be submitted by your user, and based on form submission you can trigger something in from the Power Automate, which can help you to like invoke something when user is submitting form. So these components you can use from here. And yeah, page and navigation. So if you want to change the navigation bar here, you can just have or change it here, change it from here. So we have this sub page 1 and sub page 2 under the pages. So if I go here, I have the sub page 1, sub page 2. So you can change this sequence or add or delete the navigation item based on your requirement, and that can be done from here, page and navigations. Yeah, so I think I have covered like basic for this how to manage the Power Portal, and the limitation is only like you can create a single Power Apps portal for your single environment, and there are other information is available as well, like in terms of as I was mentioning this how this architecture has been designed. So for this session I'm just keeping communication between portal to CDS, but mainly there are three parts: the portal solutions, portal metadata, and portal web app. So portal solutions can be extended using your common data model, and that can be accessed from portal metadata stored, which is available from your common data service or CDS or Dataverse, and then portal server Azure web application that can be accessed or browsed by user. So in this case, I'll just keep it very simple just to give an idea that eventually whatever the portal we are creating, that will connect with your Dataverse, nothing else. So it will pull out your data from either D365 community this portals. It could be anything from community portal, customer, employee, or partner portal, or it can connect with your entities. So in this demo, I was just trying to create a kind of user interface here, but that is still in progress. So I can use different entities, for example.
Kirti, time up. Try
Yep.
to close down. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 minutes only.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that case, I can use different entities from my Dataverse. So let me see if I have that in. Yeah, from here I can use different entities. Let's say, for example, contact, so that all the data can be reflected here on my portal. So in that case, you are eventually using the Dataverse entity, and you are allowing access to a user just to have the data available for them. Yeah, so this is all about the basic idea of Power Portal, how to use, why we are using it, then what are the different scenarios we can consider when we are planning to use this Power Apps portal, then basic architecture, and what are the out of the box templates available, as well as the what can be done using custom templates. uh, yeah, that is there. And if you want to get in touch with me, then you can just connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and my personal email address. If you have any questions or have something to share with me which I have not explained here because of the time limit, it is very short, that I cannot share everything because it's a huge thing just to share with the Power Apps portal. So if you come across anything or want to share something, then you can be in touch with me on this social media handler. And yeah, next session is after 5 minutes. That is about Microsoft Viva connections, setting up, and